here's my beautiful wife, Nancy, who has gotten me through quite a few challenges over the last 2 years. I was telling folks at our table that we just celebrated not too long ago our 45th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
It was the day after I was sworn in for the first time last June 19th. We celebrated the next day, so that was quite a week. But I'm really delighted to be here tonight for many reasons. You know, our family has been involved in supporting families who have a child with disabilities for many years. I was, for 32 years, the regional and then the state director for an organization called the Division of Developmental Disabilities. And the philosophy that Integrative Touch has was the philosophy that we tried to embed in our early intervention program. You don't just treat the child, and you don't treat the child from separate points of view. You bring a team together, the family has to be part of it, the siblings have to be a part of it. That's the only way you can really make progress and support the family. So the ideology and the ideas that are behind Integrative Touch are really something that are very near and dear to my heart. And so I'm really pleased to be here tonight to honor this great organization. And then, you know, Shay talked about the importance of children who have a disability or a chronic illness being part of their community and being accepted and having peers that accept them. I have to tell you just a brief story. My wife is laughing, she's heard this 1,000 times, about our daughter Chrissy, who is now a nurse at UMC working in postpartum care. But when she was a little girl, she went to a great preschool called 2nd Street, and we, from our organization, wanted kids with disabilities to be part of the regular preschool population. It was the first attempt in Tucson to have a mainstream option for children with disabilities. So we had a lot of kids there who had disabilities, and one of them was a young man by the name of Chad, and he had Down syndrome. And Chrissy and Chad became very good friends. She never said he was different, he was just Chad to her. And I remember one night she came home, one afternoon she came home from school and was telling us very excitedly that evening at dinner that she had taught Chad something very important that day. She had taught him how to cut with scissors. Now that's a particularly difficult fine motor skill for a child with Down syndrome. I was just delighted. My kid is a peer teacher, this is wonderful. And so about a week later, we went to a teacher conference, parent-teacher conference. We were bragging about Chrissy being the teacher of Chad. And the teacher said, yes, she did help to teach Chad how to cut with scissors. Unfortunately, they were cutting his hair at the time. No, he lost a little bit of hair, but they were good friends from then on out, and he's a wonderful young man. So this is just one of 1,000 stories that I know, Shay, you could tell about how it is possible for us to surround children and their families with love. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about what you do, Shay. You bring together all these wonderful therapies and options and alternative ways of treating children and families and bring them together, but you surround it in a package of love. And you know, when you do things with love, it's much deeper and it's much more profound. So I really appreciate everything that you do, your vision, and all that you do for our community. And I look forward to your center that you're going to have one day here in Tucson. You know, it's been a great pleasure for me to work not only in developmental disabilities, but to work with some incredible people in our town. And I just want to acknowledge a person who was a colleague of mine for many years, who's still doing the work. Eileen Roman McGrath, who's back there somewhere. I think she disappeared. I don't know where she is, but Eileen has been working in this field for a long time, and she's just one of the best. So I just let me just close by saying I'm here for 2 reasons. One, to honor with all of you this incredible organization that is doing so much great work, but also to appreciate the people at Hacienda del Sol, Rick and Nancy, Jeff and Robin and Tom and Susan. I've been learning more this evening about what they do when they offer the entire facility of Hacienda to this retreat. And yes, it's a facility, it's beautiful. If you've ever gone there, you know how beautiful it is. But in addition to offering it, I've learned that they train their staff or provide staff the information about how to work with the families. and that is really essential. And so to them, for their work, for their great gift to Tucson and the community, to these children and their families, I want to take my hat off, and I know you do too. Let's give them a round of applause, please. So let me just close by saying what a pleasure it is to be here. And this lady is not just a potted plant, I have to tell you. She's my wonderful wife. But I have to tell you that she also contributes immensely to this vision that Shay has. My wife has been a postpartum doula for about 20 years, and she's a woman who also teaches children and their families how to do infant massage. And she is part of what we all are trying to do to make sure that children and families, children with disabilities and their families, are fully integrated into our community so they can have full lives and we can all be enriched by their presence in our community. That's what this is all about. Thank you so much for having me here tonight.